Good morning, peeps. It's Mo. And Kirk and I both thought we'd throw together these presentations to let you know a little bit more about ourselves. So, the first thing you need to know about me is that I'm old. That's me actually about 5 or 6 years ago teaching in front of the class. Yeah, I'm a lot older since then. My name is Damon Kimball Mollenkoff. That's why you call me Mo. Uh, when I first started teaching, everyone just organically started shortening it to Mo because they didn't want to spell Mollenkopf. So that's I've been Mo ever since. That thing down there, it says Mollenkopf der Büro Fachmarkt Hatz. That's actually a an office supply store in Germany, in Bavaria region around Munich. It's Mollenkopf office supply store. Um, uh, Mollenkopf is very German and it comes from the Bavaria region. So I'm sure those people were some kind of relation to me somewhere. I was born August 29th, 1970. I'll be 50 on Saturday. So it'll be kind of momentous, although I won't be doing anything because of the Rona. But um, I'll be 50. Maybe I'll have to celebrate my 51st birthday instead. The picture on the right is a cake that my wife got me a few years ago at Schneider's, and I love Schneider's cakes. I love the Schneider's bakery. I get a Schneider's cake every year, and um, they must not have been able to read their own handwriting because they put "Happy Birthday, Ramon." So that's kind of a tradition now. We get a cake that says "Happy Birthday, Ramon." I'm from New York. If I get tired, um, or maybe I've celebrated a little too much in an adult way, uh, you'll hear the uh, you'll hear the accent slip through, especially if I talk on the phone or I go visit anywhere. I'll come back talking like this with a really thick accent. Um, I'm from Pearl River, New York, which is, as you can see on the picture there, just northwest of the city, right there on the Jersey border. Very, very, very close. I could get to the George Washington Bridge, which gets you into the Bronx, in about 20 minutes from my house. That's my favorite New York building, the Chrysler Building. There's this picture of the Statue of Liberty I took last time I was there. And the reason why I have these is because everyone makes fun of the way I say orange. It's an East Coast thing. Some of my East Coast mannerisms still slip through. So anytime you hear me say that color of that fruit, orange, everyone always giggles and laughs. So I thought I would throw that up there. Some other my Here's some other of my favorite places in New York City. There's Freedom Tower, One World Trade Center, Radio City Music Hall. We used to go to the Christmas spectacular every Christmas. It's one of my favorite things to do. Um, it's Union Square Park down there in the middle, in the bottom. It's in Greenwich Village, and it's one of my favorite places to hang out in Manhattan. And then on the right hand side is a picture of the park that's right behind the New York Metropolitan Library, and they have ice skating there in the wintertime. So I went to high school in Winford High School. It's in Bucyrus, which is about an hour or so north of here. Um, there are pictures available of me, I'm sure, somewhere, but none of them are digital because, again, I'm old. I went to Ohio University. That's me at the top, wearing Guess jeans and some really, really large glasses, and showing my parents that I only ever drank Mountain Dew in the fraternity house. Down at the bottom is my best man in my wedding. He was my roommate for a couple of years at OU. His name is Bill. Um, we were basically being sort of snarky with our risk manager and our fraternity house. He had fire escape plans all over the house. He put one up by the front door that basically just said "walk out the front door." So we did the fire escape plan on our door, just to sort of tease him a little bit. And then on the right, here is me as a male model, I guess, pretending to be a male model for the J.C. Penney catalog. But yeah, that's me on the left. Um, I don't know if you know this, but Ohio University is known for having a really, really, really big Halloween celebration. On the left, that's me as a statue, and then you can see down here, there's me as a statue. My roommate Bill and his girlfriend. He was a tennis trophy. Actually, I was a trophy, and she was a bowling trophy, and I was a baseball trophy. And the year before that, I actually all my fraternity brothers dressed up as old ladies, and I was a tour guide when we walked around uptown. I'm really, really proud anytime any of my students decide that they want to go to OU. So this is a picture of me 1 year with all the seniors who were going to OU that year. This is not my family, but they are much prettier than mine, so I put them up here. Seriously though, I love my family. I have a wife who I've been married to now for um, excuse me, I've been married to now for 27 years. It'll be 27 years in November. On the left hand side, my children were little. It was a trip to Disney World. Uh, 13, actually now 14 years ago. Those my children around Easter time, I think. My son's name is Andrew. He is a sophomore now at Ohio University. He followed in my footsteps. And my daughter Rachel is now 16, and she is a junior at Central High School. And here we are a little bit more recently. It's my wife Amy on the left with Rachel, and then I'm with Andrew on the right. And that's Andrew's graduation. We have a cat named Cosmo. He's about 5 or 6 years old. We don't see much of him anymore. We love him, but we don't see much of him anymore downstairs because we have this dude. His name is Dansby. We named him after the shortstop for the Atlanta Braves. I'll get to that in a minute, but he is an Australian Shepherd, and he is awesome. Very high energy, and he needs to still learn a few manners, but yeah, he's awesome. On the left are my two very, very best friends. I'm an only child, but they're basically like brothers to me. On the left is Pete. He and I played the band for years together. And on the right is my friend Jim. We call him Wally. On the right, you'll notice there's Miss Kirk. She, we always used to joke that my daughter was her daughter with me, and the kids would always buy it. But that was at another teacher at North's wedding, I believe. And then down there at the bottom, we were visiting Jim down in St. Augustine, Florida. My favorite foods, a New York pizza on the left. Nothing beats that. On the right, cheese sticks. Any sort of fried cheese is my favorite. And then in the middle there, I'm an absolute fiend for double stuffed Oreo cookies. And this is probably one of the most perfect foods I'd ever tasted. It was an Oreo cookie baked inside of a chocolate chip cookie. I think if I had one more, if I could only eat one food for the rest of my life, it would probably be that. It would be a short life, but I would still eat it. I'm a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo. I've been doing it now for 12 years, going on 12 years. On the left there, that I'm going to explain that picture. When I got my third degree, when I passed the test, they had to order my belt, and it came back, and it was the wrong size, very obviously. So that was me trying to put it on. And my son is also a third-degree black belt, and we are both instructors at Purdue's Taekwondo. My son is on staff there, and that's the two of us doing Taekwondo together. I am a musician. I'm a professional singer. Here's some pictures of me doing some things around Central Ohio. Down there in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm singing at what is our Caring and Sharing Assembly every holiday season. The three high schools get together and they get donations, and then they go out and they buy toys for underprivileged and presents for underprivileged kids in the Westerville area. And then we have a big assembly, and that's me singing at it a few years to come. Again, I'm a huge Braves fan. When we left New York, we had like 4 channels when we moved to Ohio. That's how long ago it was. And we didn't have baseball on every day like you do today. So when the Superstation WTBS came around, the Braves were owned by the guy who owned the network. So it was free. It was really, really cheap programming for the guy. So the Braves were on every night. So that I got to watch them every night. So I became a huge fan, and I passed it on to my son. In the middle there, that's the two of us down in Atlanta at the Chipper Jones number retirement ceremony. On the right, we're down at Great American Ballpark seeing the Braves against the Reds. Up at the top is the Chipper Jones retirement ceremony. On the left there is a home plate signed by all my players that one particular year. I was a coach here at Westerville North for many years. I coached varsity baseball. I was an assistant varsity baseball coach for a long time. As a matter of fact, I had played or coached some sort of organized baseball for 35 straight years. So I was in baseball for a long time. I love the game. It's my son and I at Wrigley Field seeing the Braves in Chicago. One of my favorite places to go on earth is Germany. I've been there several times now, and I just love it. I always try to learn the language as much as I can. On the left there, you can see the Brandenburg Gate and part of the Berlin Wall. That is me in the Alps at Hitler's hideaway fortress, which was called Berchtesgaden or Eagle's Nest. My son and I are there. And on the right, that's me at the Reichstag, which is basically where the government happens in Germany. It's basically like the Capitol building of Germany. That's me on a cruise, partaking some of Germany's best refreshments. And we were at a restaurant in Munich, and this waitress who didn't speak a lick of English, but it was just amazing. We figured that she must have been my long lost sister because we looked so similar. So I had to get a picture with her. And that's just about it. That's on the left of me with my feet up in my old classroom, and that's me taking a selfie with one of my classes a few years ago. That's a little bit about me. I'm sure you will learn more as we go, and hopefully we'll get together in person someday soon, hopefully, and we'll get to share stories about each other, and we'll get to know each other a little bit better. So take care. Hopefully this wasn't too long and boring. If you want to hear some of my music, you let me know, and I can direct you to some places where you can listen to that. Mo out.